I'm going to talk you through the process of using the Brightspace ePortfolio for your graduate attributes portfolio assessment. So first things first, finding your ePortfolio. When you first sign in to Brightspace on your first landing page here, you want to go to Communication and Collaboration and then ePortfolio. And it'll take you to your ePortfolio. Obviously what we're looking at here is mine and it's going to look different to yours, so please don't worry about that. It's just yours is going to be pretty blank unless you've used it for other things. Please, before you carry on with this video, make sure you have already read the written guide because that will help you understand some of the terminology that I'm using here. So, first thing you want to do is go to My Items. And now it gives you the option to create things. So you need to create a collection for each of the graduate attributes domains. So to do that, we're going to go to New Collection. And I want you to name your collection GA Portfolio and then, excuse me, the name of that domain. So let's say GA Portfolio Self-Management. You don't need to fill in description, you don't need to fill in tags, nothing else, just GA Portfolio and the name of the domain. And that's it created. What you now need to do is share this with your PAT so that they can see it. If you don't share things on your ePortfolio, we will not be able to see them, therefore we won't be able to review it and we won't be able to mark it satisfactory completion or not. So it is your responsibility to make sure you've shared. So to shared items, go back to your My Items area and you'll now see this item here. So we're going to go to the drop down next to it and you see this the option to share. We want to go to add users and groups. And then you're going to search for your PAT. Now you need to use our like login code, not our names. So I'm going to just share this with Layla Angus. So her login code is NWH1LA. If you are not sure what the login code is of your PAT, I have put a list in the Brightspace area, in the student area where we have the graduate attributes discussion. So our login codes are all there. But if you're not sure, just drop us an email and we can let you know. The reason why that's important is because lots of us have multiple accounts. We've got a staff account and student accounts. If you share it with our student account, we will not be able to see it. So if you always use our code, then you'll know you've got the right person. So you'll see I've searched that and Layla's come up. So I'm just going to highlight her and then press share. And now it's showing me that I'm already shared. If you ever wanted to remove someone, if you shared the wrong place, you can just use the cross there and I'll close that. So now when I see this collection on my Items area, you'll notice it's got this icon after it. And if I hover over it, it will say it's been shared with one other person and I can click on it and it'll tell me who it's been shared with. If you have created something for your graduate attributes portfolio and you're expecting it to be viewed by us, just double check it's got that little icon next to it in your My Items list and then you'll be fine. So that's your collection created. You're going to need to do that 5 times for the 5 graduate attribute domains and you're going to share them all. That's what we need you to do immediately, now within the first 2 weeks of the semester. From then on, this is the collections you will use, those 5 for the rest of the time as students, and it's where you're going to add all your thoughts for your graduate attributes portfolio. To do that, we're going to use reflections, and there is a specific way we need you to do this. You'll notice there is an option for reflections here. Please ignore that. In order to add a reflection, I want you to go to the appropriate portfolio page, so the domain, click on that, and then scroll down to the area for reflections and put add reflection. And then type away. Obviously, I spoke a lot in the written guide about the type of content, so I won't go over that here. Please remember to title it with the way in which you've developed. So for self-management, it might be that your study skills. It might be managing your sort of emotional resilience, that type of thing. So title it not by a module, but by something that reflects the attribute that you're developing. Obviously, I'll just put XYZ here. And then you're just going to add the content there. If you want to add documents, anything to evidence it, you can just use the plus. It uses a very technical term of add stuff, and then you could just pick whatever is appropriate for this particular reflection. And that does include adding video notes, or you could put voice clips in, whatever works for you. I'll just cancel that for now. And then once you've completed your reflection, just click add. And now it will be here. And you'll see it's date and time stamped, which is exactly what we want. And we can just read them all. So as you build up this domain over your time as a student, you're going to add and add and add, and you'll be able, and we will be able to see how that's developed over time. Now, unfortunately, not only do you need to share the whole collection, but you do need to share your reflections individually. And I apologise, I know that's clunky, but this is the system that we're working with. So once you've written your reflection, you want to go back to My Items, and you'll see it now appears here. Collections are denoted by a bulldog clip. Reflections are denoted by sort of speech or thought bubble. So you can see here that although this is shared, because I've got this little icon here, this one is not. So I need to go through that share process again. So I'll go to share, add users and groups, add the code of the person I'm sharing with. Just give it a minute to find the person. There we go. And share. And now they'll be able to see that. Okay. If you're having a day where you feel like things have been really productive, maybe you've added a couple or 3 or 4 different reflections to your different pages, you can add all the reflections at once and then come back to the list and share them. You know, you don't need to add, share, add, share, add, share. The easiest way to do that is to filter. So if I only want to see my collections, okay, I'm going to scroll down and you'll see quite a long list here. See, I've got quite a lot of reflections and I've got 2 little collections shoved in there. If I want to find my collections without scrolling through everything else, just click on collection and it'll filter out everything else. If you only want to see your reflections, click reflections, and then you need to unselect the one you had on before. And then it's taken out my collection. So that's just useful to know. So say today I'd added all these reflections, but I can see I've actually only shared like 3 of them. I could now just go through and share them all. So if that's easier, that's fine. But my big tip for you is whenever you've added something to your portfolio, before you leave this area, just check this My Items to make sure it's been shared. Okay, and that's it, really. Once you've shared, we can see them. We might add comments electronically, or we might just discuss them with you at your PAT meeting. But just to recap, what we need you to do is to come into your ePortfolio area, make 5 collections, one for each of the graduate attribute domains, call them graduate attribute, and then the name of that domain. You need to share those with us. Then you're going to, from now until the time you finish, add your reflections by going into the collection and use the add reflection option. Please don't use any of this or add, okay? Add reflections and this won't do what I want you to do. Just go into your collection and add reflections. Okay, if you have any problems or if you need any advice, please just give me, Mrs. Alcott Hall, a shout and I'll help you as best I can.